Wow. Hey, much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. How you guys doing tonight? Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for tuning in today. We got another episode of Genealogical Stories, episode 14. This ain't gonna be a long video, should be quick. Um, Pretty basic. Um, the tree, and just want to get to a point and show you guys um, what we can prove, what we can find, what we can show, and not just beliefs, conjectures, assumptions, you know, generalizations when it comes to James Brown's genealogy or ancestry. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the tree, and you guys decide from there what you think. Um, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for joining. Wow. All my genealogical stories are on YouTube. Guys, my only videos on Patreon right now are the Chazars ones. So if you're new to my channel, you must be if you're asking that. You would have known that it's on YouTube. If not, but it's all good. Welcome to the channel. All right. All the episodes are on YouTube. Almost all my videos are on YouTube. I'm not just putting videos on Patreon to make money, guys. You gotta understand why I put the Chazar videos there. If you don't, catch up. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and look into James Brown, the Godfather of Soul music, right? Very entertaining, talented person, iconic, right? In America, in the world. So a lot of rumors out there of what he may be, and I'll just show you guys what I was able to find. Okay, so you decide from there, and by the end of the video, I'm just gonna make a little speech, right? Yeah. So we got a good crowd. We got about 80 people, so we can get started. You guys can hear me good? Yeah. Music in the background, not too loud or anything like that? Let me know. And again, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody that's here. All right, so James Brown, right? Nobody, if you've been under a rock almost all your life and you don't know who this person is, well, James Joseph Brown was an American singer, dancer, musician, the central progenitor of funk music, and a major figure of 20th century music. He is referred to by various nicknames, among them, the hardest working man in show business, Godfather of Soul, Mr. Dynamite, and Soul Brother Number One. In a career that lasted more than 50 years, he influenced the development of several music genres. Brown was one of the first 10 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. On January 23rd, 1986, his music has been heavily sampled by hip hop musicians and other artists. Brown began his career as a gospel singer in Toccoa, Georgia. He rose to prominence in the mid 1950s as the lead singer of the famous Flames, a rhythm and blues vocal group founded by Bobby Byrd, with the hit ballads Please, 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 and Try Me. Brown built a reputation as a dynamic live performer with the famous Flames and his backing band, sometimes known as the James Brown Band or the James Brown Orchestra. His success peaked in the 1960s with the live album Live at the Apollo and hit singles such as Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, I Got You, I Feel Good, and It's a Man's World, It's a Man's World. You guys already know all these hits. During the late 1960s, Brown moved from a continuum of blues and gospel-based forms and styles to a new approach to music, making emphasizing stripped-down interlocking rhythms that influenced the development of funk music. By the early 1970s, Brown had fully established the funk sound. After the formation of the JBs with records such as Get Up, I Feel Like Being a Sex Machine, The Payback, he also became noted for songs of social commentary, including the 1968 hit Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Again, what do you say? I'm Black and I'm Proud? Huh. Brown continued to perform and record until his death and pneumonia in 2006. All right, so I get again, we dodged the hijack with that whole crayon color tag, right? Nowadays. Brown recorded and released 17 singles that reached #1 on the Billboard's R&B charts. He also holds the record for the most singles listed on the Billboard Hot 100 chart that did not reach #1. Brown was posthumously inducted into the first class of the Rhythm and Blues Music Hall of Fame in 2013 as an artist and then in 2017 as a songwriter. He received honors from several other institutions, including inductions into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And Joel Whitburn's analysis, the Billboard R&B charts from 1942 to 2010. Brown is ranked #1 in the top 500 artists. He is ranked 7th on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 greatest artists of all time, and at number 44 on their list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. All right. Hey, much love, millennials. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, Emma, welcome to the club. All right, welcome to the Kurimeo club. Hey, appreciate you, millennials, for sponsoring somebody like that. Thank you. Nolipa the more. So what do you mean by that? I'm interested. I'm not like trying to go at you. I really want to know. Do you know something I don't know? Because that would be interesting for today's chat. Let me know. So we're going to go ahead and continue. Just 1 second here, guys. Let me just get the tree going on ancestry real quick. Okay. So, early life. Brown was born on May 3rd, 1933 in Barnwell, South Carolina. South Carolina. To 16-year-old Susie Bellin and a 21-year-old Joseph Gardner. Brown, he was actually a Gardner. He was raised by some Browns that took him in, so he took on the Brown name. But in reality, James Brown is a Gardner, not a Brown by blood. All right, he's a Gardner, not a Brown. All right, guys got that? Brown's name was supposed to have been Joseph James Brown, but his first middle name were mistakenly reversed on his birth certificate. In his autobiography, Brown stated that his father was of mixed African American and Native American descent, while his mother was of mixed African American and Asian descent, huh? And then, I went all to these I went to these sources, guys, so you'll see what I'm saying. Like, let's just read this real quick. James Brown's Indian heritage, right? Let's see what it's saying. All right, I'm gonna take this off. Here we go. All right. So it says here, funk superstar James Brown credits. So this we're in contactmusic.com. This is not like one of those historical genealogical websites. This is random website, guys. Here, okay. So, funk superstar James Brown credits his Apache Indian roots with his healthy lifestyle, huh? So he said he was Apache, huh? The get-up singer rarely smokes cigarettes and abstains from drinking alcohol because he has a fiery Indian temperament and is frightened about what would happen if he got drunk. Are you sure we never seen him drunk? He explains, I have this American Indian in me, Apache Indian. I look like my dad. I guess the Indian temper is there. That's why I don't drink liquor. I just be nice fella and work hard. Haha. I eat right too. We don't really care about whiskey, but we're not knocking it. I smoke very little. If I smoke what the Indians smoke. Whatever that is. Yeah, so he was a character. He was pretty cool. He was funny. He was very sarcastic in his interviews. I've seen a lot of the old interviews, so. But is he really Apache? The Apache are several southern Athabascan language-speaking peoples of the Southwest, not South Carolina, the Southern Plains, and northern Mexico, not South Carolina. They are linguistically related to the Navajo. They migrated from the Athabascan homelands in the north and the southwest between 1000 and all right, just wanted to show you guys. All right, so These are some of the Apache bands, right? Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, even up to Oklahoma, where they got relocated. But historically, Southern Great Plains, Northern Mexico, New Mexico, West Texas, Southern Colorado, all right, not South Carolina. And again, remember, you guys know I'm all about, you know, sorting out the truth, historical truth, a genealogical truth, and more than just what people believe or want people to be. All right. So let's not take any of this personal. Don't feel like I'm attacking anybody. Don't feel like I'm trying to say he's not Indian. He definitely most likely is Indian, but not Apache. And you'll see why I'm saying that when we look at his family tree. Okay. So just the fact that a lot of people out there just keep running with this, even if, who knows why he kept telling people that, that's sold. A lot of these singers will say, I'm Indian, 'cause that sold, that got him more popular. He Apache is in a different region of the U.S. and his whole people, you guys are gonna see, are from the East Coast. All right, going all the way back. So we'll go to ethnicity of celebs, ethnicelebs.com. I use this website a lot when I try to do the celebrity genealogies. They be having some pretty good info so I can get started because I don't know these people personally. So a lot of the times this website kind of helps. But it also includes a lot of hijacks sometimes. They don't really, it's very generalized too sometimes. But it does have facts too. So it says here birth name James Joseph Brown Jr., May 3rd, 1933, Barnwell, South Carolina, passed away December 25th, 2006 in Atlanta, Georgia. It says James Brown was an American singer, songwriter, dancer, musician, record producer, and band leader. He was known as the Godfather of Soul. James' parents, Susie Bellin and Joseph Joe Gardner Brown, were both African American. Dodge the hijack with the African. James had said that his father was born under the name of Joe Gardner and later took on the surname Brown after a woman who had helped raise him, Maddie Brown. All right. So again, he's not even a Brown, guys. So a lot of people might also assume that, oh, he might be related to me because I'm a Brown. He's not a Brown guy. Like his dad is a Gardner and his mom is Bellin. That's her surname. James had stated that his paternal grandfather was pure Indian, a Cherokee, huh? A lot of people are Cherokee or Blackfoot, so it might be a little bit more than that, right? It might be another specific tribe that they come from. And that his mother's ancestry had a strong Asian element and some American Indian. Asian? Really? We're going to see. We're going to verify this, guys. James had stated that his maternal grandfather was highly Asian. Maternal grandfather. Again, we're going to verify this. And that his maternal grandmother's mother was almost full-blooded American Indian. It is not clear if these claims of Native American and Asian ancestry have been verified or documented. So why are you repeating it? We know though, in this channel that, you know, so-called Black Americans are American Indians and founding fathers, the Black Europeans that came. Yes, not just American Indians, but yes, a lot of American indigenous blood and the so-called Black Americans, right? Starts to hijack with the crayon colors. So I'm can't read the chats too much, guys, as because I'm kind of doing this live. So if you're asking me something, I will probably might not see it. James had at least 9 children. He was married to Velma Warren Deidre, Dee Jenkins, Adrienne Lewis Rodriguez until her death, and to singer Tommy Ray Heine. James' maternal grandfather was named Money Monroe Belling, the son of Stephen Belling and Sarah. Money was born in South Carolina. You just said, though, that he was highly Asian. So which one is it? Stephen was the son of Moses Belling and Charlotte Williams. James' maternal grandmother was Rebecca Becca Bryan and the daughter of Perry Bryan and Susan Carter. Rebecca was born in South Carolina. All right. So, I had this initial information We went to Ancestry, we started putting it in, and we started getting records to verify most of this. At least the names and the people are correct, yes. All right. Hey, Will Anderson. So are we going off conjectures? Will Anderson, some Apaches did migrate to the southeast. Apaches probably went everywhere. But we're gonna see where's that? Where's that? Like that's you guys gotta understand when you guys do genealogy and the relocations usually were towards the west, not towards the east. That's backwards. That's backwards. All right. This doesn't mean I'm not saying this doesn't mean that I'm saying he's not Indian, guys. Don't take that personal. I know a lot of you ran with that. Oh, he's Apache and sharing the maymays and all that, and a lot of people in the Abo community, yeah, Abo community, he's Apache, without verifying, without verifying. All right, you guys gotta verify things, especially if you're gonna be claiming things and just spreading things, right? Yeah. So again, relocations and migrations were towards the west, not the other way around, guys. Okay. Guys got to understand the migration patterns of families and the relocation, how that worked. It wasn't the other way around. Okay. So here's a grave entry, James Brown. And again, same thing. A little bit of description, but it does have, as you guys can see, Joseph Gardner. That's his dad, Susie Bellin, some of his children. Again, just confirming. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. So if he was Apache, why didn't he just make a song saying, say it loud, I'm Apache and I'm proud? Or Cherokee, say it loud, I'm Cherokee and I'm proud. It's a funk song performed by James Brown and written by band leader Alfred Pee Wee Ellis. Right, he wrote that. Some people say, well, it was the Jews. The Jews made him sing that. Maybe. But, you know, what we can find is that this guy wrote it. All right. Hey, Juice, we're doing his genealogy today. Welcome, man. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you his family tree, all right? Let's have some patience, guys. We're just getting started. If you're new to my channel, which I can tell a lot of you are, you know, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm not coming at you. Welcome. I'm glad, you know, you found me. I'm glad you're here. It's not a coincidence. You found my channel. You're here because you want the truth. You're here because you like history, because you really want to get dig deep into specific things and not just assume, conjecture, and belief. Okay? So if you're new again, I have a whole series. It's called Genealogical Stories, where I've done several people, prominent people, just to show examples, you know, and hopefully I had hope by episode 14, which we're on today, that you guys understand that you're a lot more than what you think. You're not, you know, nobody's 100%, guys. And I've been trying to tell you that, you know, we keep learning, just to remind you, like, a lot of people like to be biased and point fingers and just say, well, he's not Indian, I'm 100%. You're not, because you look like this, and you look like that, and you look like this. Okay? So if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the series, I've done W.E.B. Du Bois, Bergman Freeman genealogy right here. Episode 2, we did Jabari's true ancestry. Jabari the Pan-African. Come on, guys. I proved he was making up his genealogy. I proved it with his own cousin's books. His own cousin wrote books about his family, and he didn't even read them, or he ignored them. I don't know why. Episode 3 was on Sarah Rector, the richest colored girl in the world. She was declared white. Did you guys know she was declared white at some point? Just because she was so rich? All right, that's episode 3. Episode 4, what we got? We got Tupac Shakur's ancestry. Then we got episode 5, we got Nat Turner's ancestry. Yeah, he was a real person. And if you are following somebody that told you he was a fake person, then I'm sorry to say, you guys following people blindly. You guys following people blindly, and not verifying, because just because of fancy background music and uh, you know, the popping and the moving things on the screen and 10-minute, 15-minute video, and you thought it was real. Yeah, we are beyond. We. That's like French. We who, man? And then we ain't talking about metaphysics right now. We're getting specific. You guys, you gotta understand. If you're on that oh we this we that and you're generalizing, you're probably in the wrong channel. I'm trying to see why you're here. Are you here to learn true history that you can verify, or are we just gonna go into metaphysical stuff, right? I know we live in a spiritual and physical world, but sometimes we gotta ground ourselves and have a foundation, guys. We can't just be believing everything without being able to prove anything. All right, that's the mistake I did all my life until I started realizing there's real history out there that you can kind of prove. That's why I started my channel, right? And that is before I even knew about doing genealogy or anything like that, you know. Episode 6, we got Michael Jackson's true ancestry and ethnic background. Check that out. All right, very good video. Very good video. Episode 7, Harriet Tubman's ancestry. Again, somebody on YouTube told you that she was fake. I showed Nat Turner's living ancestors. They still contact me and tell me thank you. I'm an ancestor of him. I also showed Harriet Tubman's living ancestors, which also have contacted me and told me thank you. Thank you. These are real people. They're alive. The stories, the narratives may be false of what they said they did, the way they're telling the stories, but these were real people. Real people. Episode 8, we got Scotia, Godot, Tea Teffy, the Queen Teffy, William the Conqueror, Hedemon, Ramses. What's their genealogical tree? And we got Beyonce's tree. Now, the episode 8 was from the annals, right? We got that from Irish annals or European old annals, right? They keep a track. They have a track. They have papers. All right, servant. I'm not here to argue with you, bro. Like, are you here interested to see James, or are you here to argue with me and debate about things that come on, man. You're off topic. You're off topic, man. Let's stay on topic, guys, please. I really would appreciate that. Yeah. Episode 9 again, Beyonce. Check it out. It's pretty deep. Look, it's a 5-hour video. Pretty extensive genealogy. All right. Then we got her husband. Because since we did her tree, might as well did his tree since I had it already. He was related to her as the husband, right? So might as well did his tree too. Episode 11, the sons of Shem, according to Josephus, huh? What's the genealogy of the sons of Shem? Like, who are they? Just based on what is written, right? Episode 12, Genealogical Story. We got Keanu Reeves' true ancestry. This is a really good video. Man, if you guys haven't watched these videos, make sure to catch them. Episode 13, we got LeBron James genealogy. Go ahead and check that out as well. I think to me is a good video. Episode 14 today, right? That's what we're gonna do today. So make sure to get the playlist, Genealogical Stories. I got plenty of playlists. If you don't want to go back and go one by one and catch up, then you can probably try to go to the playlist. You might miss some videos. I don't know if I got all my videos on playlist, but hey, that's a shortcut, right? That's what's up. That's what's up, Juice. I appreciate you doing that, taking the time, and taking the journey that I've taken with everybody else in this community in the last 7 years. Thank you. All right. So again, it's not a long video. I don't think it is going to be long, but let's go. So, you guys understand what genealogy is? So this is your true bloodline. This is based on records, census records, military records, birth certificates, death certificates, things like that. Not spitting in a tube. This is not about spitting in a tube and sending it somewhere, and then they return and tell you, yeah, you're from Ghana, you're from Nigeria. you're 2% Native American, 3% Irish, all that hijack. That's not the same thing, guys. Okay. So James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud, he said. So Teddy Brown, that was his son. I started with his son. This is his wife Velma, and this is James. Some of his siblings, Joseph and Adrienne. And again, we had his parents, as we saw earlier, Joseph Gardner. We're gonna go ahead and go through the paternal line real quick. All right, let me just go to the picture. I'm looking at the hey T Christopher, how you doing? How you doing? Thanks. Nice seeing you here. No, I mean, I don't know what you're asking me. You mean to like Africa specifically? I haven't. Okay, guys, and this is no cap, and I can show you right now. I'm not even gonna. Hold on. Watch this. I've done several hundred trees, guys. I've helped several hundred black folks with their trees. All right. This is trees I've created. Look, you guys see, I got 8 pages. And it's trees I'm working on, like Elijah Poole. If you don't know who that is, you'll find out. We're working on Fantasia, Malcolm X, all future videos. Uh, Irie Irvin, that's a pretty good one. I'm working on. All right, and as you guys can see, it goes in alphabetical order. I'm just gonna pick one random here and just show you. Let me see. Just so you guys can see. I got several trees for several people already done. Go back, and these are the trees I created. Right, this is what I help people with, and then trees shared with me, a whole other list. So just give me my flowers, guys. I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years straight, and I've learned how to do it real good. I'm not saying, anybody else doesn't know how to do it. I'm just saying, I'm very thorough and detailed when I do this, and I treat every tree like if it was my family tree. I'm not just adding things. I'm making sure. I'm making sure if I have a record. If I don't have a record, I'm not just gonna add anything. Okay? Hits after hits after hits. It don't stop. So that's his dad right there. Pretty cool picture, right? He looks just like him for real. He looks just like his dad. So we got Joseph Brown. It's supposed to be, that was his real name. It was Joseph James Brown, but they put James first. So, you guys read earlier. But right here he's living, says here, grandson, Charleston, South Carolina, 1920. $40. Charleston, Susan. We got here some death certificates. So I just want to show you guys what like kind of things we find here, right? And that's the dad, Joseph and Susan. And this is another way to verify the parents, looking at the death certificates. Find the grave, we saw that already earlier. Social Security records, things like that. Where it got Joseph's Susie. So we're at sorry, we're at his father's. I'm over here thinking it's him. Sorry guys, I got confused. This is his dad's stuff and we're looking at. Because he has Joseph too, so I got confused. So that's his dad's stuff right here. Right? We got several family trees also that we find as hints. Got other family trees confirming, the family history, the parents, the grandparents. All right, so, and then we go into them individually sometimes, when I need to verify things and make sure they got records. As you guys can see, there is records here. So it's not just people adding things manually. Okay. So his dad is from Barnwell County, South Carolina. Passed away in Richmond County, Georgia. So he did move to Georgia. Much love, Eileen. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you very much for that. So that's his mom, Susie Bellin, right? Which she's saying has some Asian in her. And I was like, well, maybe. To me at first, because I didn't never saw this last name before, I was like, well, that kind of maybe that might be an Asian last name. Is that what he was going off? Is that what they were going off? Like, you guys will see. Where's the Asian? There is no Asian here, but we'll look into it, right? Let's go up his dad's line, right? Again, these are Gardners. These are his uncles and aunts right here. So that's his dad's siblings. These are his grandparents. That his grandparents. So since we started with his son, Teddy, it's gonna base it off Teddy, right? So these are Teddy's great grandparents, meaning his James grandparents, right? So we got James Gardner. Again, we're just gonna continue up to Gardner real quick. He was born in Barnwell County, South Carolina. Right here, he's 14, as you guys can see in the census. And he's living under Susan Gardner, right? Which is his mother. And you can go into the census and verify for yourself. Make sure. Susan, here goes. Right here, James. So now you guys see where the James is kind of coming from, right? See the name is being carried down. Again, born in Carolina, South Carolina. Here we have his death certificate for his grandfather, being listed as colored. And his list his parents, Carly or Connie Carly Garner, Susie Sapp. Now we got another surname. All right, so every time you go up a generation, you're always gonna get a new surname, right? In the maternal side, you're always gonna get new surname, right? So you have many surnames, guys, not just one or two. You have several families represented in you, even though when it comes to you, you only got carrying one or two, the most recent, but you have a lot of history behind you, a lot of different ancestry. This is what I'm saying, guys. Like, genealogy is very complex. It's not generalized. It's very complex and specific. All right. So you saw I had the parents confirmed. We're gonna go up the Gardner side. Keep going up the Gardner side. We're still in South Carolina. Right? We got Carl, Kenny, Kenny. These are all the names that he went by. Right? Connie, see? South Carolina, married to Susan. Remember, that was his mom. And there's a junior here. And they're being listed as mulatto, or Connie is at least. Let's go into the census. And now look at this. This is what I'm saying, guys. So Connie is being called mulatto. His wife is black and his son is black. That's what I'm saying. Dodge the hijack with all these classifications. Yeah. All right. Here's the same one we looked at. Here's a death certificate for one of their sons. Here goes Canny. The name, I told you, the name's being written a lot of different ways. You might notice that when you're doing genealogy. Don't get all freaked out. Just verify. Is it the same wife? Is it the same location? Is the kids matching? If everything is matching, don't worry about the name. People sometimes cannot read the writing, guys. Oh, well, this one is easy to read because it's typed. But sometimes it's cursive like this, and it's hard to read. And when the people grabbing the data and digitizing it, they can't read it. They just put whatever they think they're seeing. So they mess up a lot of names. People spell things how they spell it too. They might hear Tanny. It might be spelled a whole different way, and they spelled it this way. But that's why in my practice, I add all the names I find like this. I found this. I found Carl. I found Kenny. So I added all of them. That way I can get all the hints. That way I can get all the records, just in case. Okay. So again, we're still in Barnwell, South Carolina, guys. If you, okay, I don't know. You guys have been following for a while. I don't know if you remember. I believe William Ellison, right? Richest, actually the biggest cotton plantation owner in the South was a black man, William Ellison. I have a video on this, right? Proven, proven. He's not no son of a no. He wasn't no slave, inherited nothing. That's all false. Go check out the video. You'll see what I'm saying. So, why I'm saying that? Because he was in Barnwell too. These people are in Barnwell. Okay. So, Carl. Social Security. Let's see. And then we got other family trees. All these people related to James Brown for sure, or else they wouldn't be doing the tree unless they're like genealogists. But in most cases, it's family members that have the same info. And everybody, well, not everybody, like I was able to find some of them. So like I like to go into other people's profiles and verify what they have, make sure they got records, all right? And sometimes the records a little bogus, you know. So we got Thomas Garner is the dad, and that's as far as I was able to get. That's as far as I was able to get on the Garners in South Carolina, almost 1700s. So it says about, and I got this again from the family trees. I can continue, but I leave it there because again, I don't like to add things if there's no records. But a lot of the families had Tom and Mary Ferguson as the parents. Okay, so I just left it like that. And we're still in South Carolina, right? Gardner, right? 1 second. Okay, Gardner, a pretty cool website for knowing some of the origins of the last name, surnames. So Gardner, right? English, German, Irish, Scotland, but the history of the name Gardner dates back to the ancient Anglo-Saxon, sons of Isaac, sons of Isaac of Britain. It is derived from a member of the family who worked as a gardener. The surname Gardner originally derived from the old French word gardenier. Okay, just a little history on that. All right. Did you guys see any Apache yet? Okay, I don't know, right? All right, let's go back. All right, so that was Kenny's parents. Mary, the mom, also born in Barnwell. That's according to the families. And that's as far as we get. This is usually the threshold when you reach 18, 30s, 20s. They usually stop you there on ancestry. Because you guys got to remember, you're supposed to be slaves by 1860, right? Anything previous, you're supposed to be African slaves. So they ain't going to release these things. They ain't going to want you to put all this together. And when you do your genealogy with some of these so-called genealogists, I'm talking not in this community, but the hijacks, right? The gatekeepers, they'll try to make you African guys. They'll probably say, well, this is probably the first freed African named Gardner, right? They named them Gardner. That's what they will say to you. They'll try to make you. That's why there's no records. That's not true, guys. Somewhere, somebody has the records. It's there somewhere. You may have to do some boots on the ground. Now that you got some leads, you got leads, right? So going back to Susan, she was a sap, right? This is all her siblings. So if you're a sap and you're from this area, you might be related. You might be related. All right, going into Susan. Hey, Juice. I don't know if you heard in the beginning, you guys are both American Indians and Black Europeans. There's no separation. I'm gonna keep telling you as much, no matter who gets offended, no matter who starts throwing a tantrum, you gotta keep it real with yourself. Do your own genealogy. You'll see what I'm talking about. You know, you got to understand the ancestors assumed anybody coming from Europe was a white man, so-called white man. So of course they wouldn't be trying to associate themselves to them. They were starting to believe the stories. A lot of them, not all of them. Even though I'm part Indian, my mom, she had long hair, thinking that the dad was the African a lot of the times, and this is, I'm just saying, and I'm talking from experience. You saw all the trees I've done, guys. I'm talking about, I don't just do these trees alone. I have 4 to 5, 6 hour sessions with people. I sit down with them, with their family members, and we verify everything and they confirm everything. All right. So Susan Sapp, 1880 census. She's 20 years old. Married to Connie. All right. And then we got some other census. Georgia death certificate. She's enlisted as the mom for one of the kids. Again, for Willie as the mom. And John. We also have a grave record for her. And you can actually go right into the Find a Grave website, and you can see that these are real people, right? They even have graves. So what I was saying earlier, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. She asked me if I found anybody go to Nigeria. Guys, I've done several hundred trees. I haven't found any Africans. So just get that out your head. Just get that out your head. Yeah, nobody's saying you African, but don't, where do you, okay, hey Juice, what's your last name? If you don't mind telling me. And where did that last name come from? Do you think it was from a white slave owner? I'm trying to make you understand something. These are your last names, guys. These are your last names, right? Hold on, guys. I want to give you an example of what we've gone over so much. Hold on. Oh, this is not what I wanted to show. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. And I thought it was going to be a quick video, but I like to explain myself a little bit when I'm doing the genealogical stories. Right. All right. Hold up. Hold up. I got so many bookmarks. Hold up. Trying to find the right one. There we go. All right. I mean, guys, over 810 videos I got. We've gone over a lot of the Black European history that they've hidden from us. A lot of these are your people too. It's okay if you don't want to acknowledge them or whatever. Or if you're not related to them, I'm not talking to you specifically. But us kinfolk and kinfolk, you guys can't generalize just because of complexion that you're thinking you're all the same. So this is a lot of people's ancestry. And this part of history and this ancestry has been forgotten, has been, left out, and continues to be left out by a lot of people in this community. Okay? Black Europeans are real, guys. Black Europeans are real. They were real. They were real. All right? I'm not saying he's a Black European. I'm just showing you. I'm just talking to the people in the chat right now. If you came later on, we have a live chat going right now. All right? I shown the origin of a lot of these crests and who they represented. And, they'll say Moors, but these are like your Holy Roman clergy, Vatican clergy, holy families, dukes, your dukes. Yeah. Yeah, that's not me, that's not my people, I'm Indian. Yeah, you Indian. How'd you get all your surnames though? The initial colonists. Guys, you gotta understand history is a lie. Most of the original colonists were melanated folks. not pale skin. Okay? Not pale skin. The pale skin people came much later on or a little bit after. And then we got orphan babies and incubator babies. That's a whole other story. All right? But not everybody that's so-called white is coming from orphans or incubators either. So let's not disrespect anybody. Everybody got their genealogy. Do your own genealogy. Know who you are. Don't. And if you're just focusing on Indians, then you're probably not doing the genealogy correctly. Yeah, if you're just looking for Indians. And I'm just trying to be real with you without trying to offend anybody, okay? Get to know me. If you need help, reach out. Certain ways you can reach out to me. You might give certain priorities in certain platforms if you reach out to me in certain platforms, But anyways, let's continue. So we got Susan Sapp. And then we got the other families who are listed: Barry Sapp and Caroline Hickson as the parents to Susan. Okay. So we got Hickson. We got a whole nother last name here as well. Right? So you see, all these families had Barry Sapp and Caroline Hickson, just for go into the family profiles. All right. So a lot of the people may not have records, but they have their family Bibles, they have their oral stories, they know the names of certain people's parents, so, you can kind of, when you see so many families, that say, yeah, these are the parents, then, I kind of go with it. I try, when I don't see no sources though, I try to I just leave it there. And again, we're at the threshold where we hit kind of like a dead end, and this is by design, guys. They make sure these algorithms ain't trying to help you. Again, you're supposed to be slaves by now. All right, so this is Barry Sapp, and we did find records for him, right? There you go. Where? Barnwell, California, Barry Sapp, so-called black. The list here. Some of the kids. 1900. I got Bernie Barnwell. Caroline, there we go, Caroline. That's her right here. We got Georgia U.S. property. Yeah, people own stuff, property taxes, agricultural census, not slaves. Not slaves. Okay. So on this side, okay, then hold on, let me go to Caroline. Again, Hickson. And it says she's living with Nancy Bush. Let me go into the census real quick. I did this, guys, I did this a long time ago. I did this tree a long time ago. I was trying to find more, and I was trying to hoping that the website will release some hints, and maybe some other people will start their tree, and maybe somebody knows. And it's been hard. You get stuck right there. Unfortunately, some families have better luck than others. That's just the way it is. It doesn't mean it's impossible. A lot of times you gotta go do the boots on the ground, and you gotta understand. So you say, okay, so who brought the Sapp name to the South Carolinas, or who was the first Sapp or Hickson in Barnwell? Maybe you can go backwards, and maybe that way you can find them that way. Don't assume that all these people are pale skin bringing the name. So when it comes to her, we did find that a lot of families had Dempsey, Hickson, and Mary. Hickson as the parents, Dempsey. And again, these are real families. You can contact these people, and I can say, hey, how do you know Dempsey's the dad? And they'll be like, well, because we have a family Bible. Well, because I know my grandma told me, my great grandma told me. We had the name written. And here's Dempsey Hickson, South Carolina. Again, Barnwell. Mary, Louis, Minnie, and Luca, and all the kids, right? Hey, third eye open. Wow, man, appreciate it very much. Thank you. May the Great Spirit bless you. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Speechless, like, wow, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, like, for real. You guys don't know how hard it is on these YouTube streets, but we continue. We don't give up. Thank you. The people like you that hold me up, keep me motivated, keep going. Thank you. And then we got Mary Hickson. All right. And that's as far as we got on the Hicksons. Okay, so hold up. I forgot to actually. I wanted to keep doing this. So SAP, right? English. The ancient, ancient. I'm talking about ancient, most likely melanated. So Saxon, right? Sons of Isaac came from Sabinus Sabine. So these are the masculine and feminine forms of the name, respectively. Sabinus Sabine. The personal name is derived from the Sabines, a people who lived in the Apennines, northwest of Rome. By the 3rd century BC, the Sabines had become fully Romanized. You guys see? Being a Roman is not a nation. This is what I've been telling you. There's no such thing as Romans and so-called Greeks. That was a culture people took on. You became Romanized, or you became Hellenized, or Greek. There was many different nations under the Greek banner, and there was many nations who were so-called Romans. Romans became a citizenship, not a nation, like not a tribe or a specific original nation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you got to dodge the hijack with all that, because they added themselves into history with their fake chronologies and they made us think that Roman was so great and the Greeks, and it's not like that, guys. We got future videos on all this, right? We're gonna break it down as we get to it, right? I'm gonna put Hickson here. English Irish. The Hickson family is linked to the ancient Anglo-Saxon. But you see, do you guys see the pattern, right? And it's not always the same thing. It's not always gonna tell you this is an ancient Anglo. It just happens to be that these are all ancient Anglo-Saxon. Did these people know that when they were mixing with each other? Did they carry a certain culture with them? Apart from the Indian part, right? Apart from the indigenous part, that way they were marrying together. Hey, Juice, you're Johnson and Norman, all right? So that's what I'm saying. Where do those names come from? And if somebody tells you Johnson is indigenous name, because I know there's a lady out there saying, and she's mad because I did a video on Anthony Johnson, and she got really rude with me, very disrespectful. She's kind of prominent in the community, in the Abo community more, because everything's about Black Indian and that's it. She's just Black Indian and that's it. She ain't nothing else, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody's 100% anything. And if you are more Indian, then it shows right away your nature, who you are, how you act, right? It shows right away if you're more Indian. If you're more European, if you're more colonized, if you're more hijacked, if they were, because a lot of these Europeans weren't. They just came as indentured servants. A lot of them were poor. A lot of them were forced over here. Religious persecution. We know the story about the Huguenots, Sephardic Jews, Moors, the Black Irish, the Jacobites, things like that. Everybody, they all have their own history. Prisoners of war, convicts. They were saying convicts over here, the penal colonies. But we gone over all this. We gone over all this. Okay. So as you guys can see, it says that Hickson, their name comes from the baptismal name Richard. As the naming tradition grew in Europe, baptismal names began to introduce many countries. Interesting, huh? So just a little history on that. I just want to show you that. Um, go back to the tree. All right. So again, as you guys can see, pretty much there. Oh, actually, oh yeah, Dempsey. We had Dempsey. Now you can hit search here and see if you get something. And a lot of times I do find a lot of those stuff. So when you hit search from the person, you actually are searching for specific info, which is the person's name, where he was born, where he might have passed away, all that, the year. So you might get, more better results. But again, you see, as you guys can see, you know, we don't know if these are him. This is Texas, Texas, Texas. This South Wales. It's most likely not him. This might be him, but that says D. So I'm not gonna add that just because it says D, right? It could be Thomas D, Thomas Dempsey Hickson, but again, I'm not gonna add things I don't know. We gotta get specific and we'll leave it there. That's what I'm saying. So as you guys can see, on the Gardner side, we didn't find no Apache, right? We're still in South Carolina. We're not in New Mexico. We're not over there in the Southwest, right? Yo, much love, Airshad. Airshad, very indigenous, but he knows all his ancestors. He knows all his ancestors, but he's very indigenous, and he can prove that. Let him know, Airshad. So we go back down. We're gonna go up James' grandmother's on his paternal side story, and what we got is Luriana Gundy. So here's another last name, right? Gundy, also in Barnwell, South Carolina, and all we had is the families telling us that that was the mom, but we have no record. That's why I don't continue. Even if I hit search, because I do this. I don't just stay there. I try to find my own, which I do that a lot. I find stuff on my own, and I make sure it matches and everything. As you guys can see, not much. Lorraine and Lorena kind of sound the same. Could be Lorraine. This might be her. Might. It says spouse Gardner. It says she's a Daniels. So we go into it. Let me see. And as you guys can see, hold on. Come on. Nine comes out. There we go. There we go. Let me see. So where we at? I got this highlighted. All right, it says the award for the winning stunt went to Miss Lorraine Daniels. The judges were Miss Grace. So this is just like a report. It's not talking about ancestry or anything like that. So this is from Massachusetts, though. You see, so to me, to me, I wouldn't add this, right? I wouldn't just add this. So it does come up as a search result because you got Lorena and you got a husband named Gardner. So they like, maybe it's this. But you got to be very detailed when you're doing genealogy, guys. Don't just add things that you're not sure of. All right? Because you're going to go up the wrong tree, maybe. They're going to try to make you other things that you are. Hey, Juice, it's not rumors, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, look into it. Look into it. Look into it. And do your genealogy. Try to build your tree. And you see what you might find. Sometimes the Irish goes way back, like any European, it might go back to like 1600s, 1700s. You might not be able to get that far back to verify. You might get lucky, and sometimes you do get through that threshold, and you're able to, and then it gets really historic. It gets really historic, right? It gets really accurate and historic. But unfortunately, when it came to history, I wasn't able to get too far. Right, I hit the threshold almost every line. So again, that was the paternal side, right? That was the paternal side. I want to go back to what it was saying in the website, just so we can read what it was saying there. Right, he said that on his paternal grandfather was pure Indian Cherokee. Okay, going back, paternal grandfather, which was James. Yeah, quite possibly. Is it really Cherokee? Were they really in South Carolina? That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, they weren't really in South Carolina, guys. And then Cherokee You guys got to see it. You'll see a pattern. Most people will say I'm Cherokee and Blackfoot. A lot of times Cherokee became like a blanket term for Indian. Yeah, they are Indians, and Cherokee just like kind of stuck on. A lot of time they have to take on the Cherokee name because their other tribe wouldn't be recognized. But Cherokee includes a lot of different people too, more like a confederation of. There was actually Sephardic Jews being called Cherokees too, and there's actually a lot of Cherokees that are actually Catawbas, Saponis, Rappahannocks, Eastern tribal people that they're misclassifying as Cherokee. And when we're talking about Blackfoot, I just want to, in general, and this is I've been able to confirm with people who knew they were Blackfoot, but were able to verify that. Yeah, they go back to Saponi, Catawba. It's Saponi is a Tutelo word, which is the Siouan language. They are Eastern Siouan tribes. And the word Saponi actually translates to Blackfoot. There was a Blackfoot clan with the Saponi and the Catawbas, but not the tribe. The actual tribe of Blackfoot and Blackfeet are from Alberta, Canada, not the Southeast. So a lot of people tend to mix that up. Okay? So if you have heard Blackfoot, you might be coming from the Carolinas or Virginia, possibly Saponi Indians, Catawba Indians, all right? So look into that. Don't just say I'm Cherokee and Blackfoot, just leave it at that. Like it's that has become a generalized most people use. I'm Cherokee and Blackfoot, like not understanding. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just want you guys to dig deeper. So we're gonna go to his mom's side, right? Remember what they said. Let's see what did it say. Remember, I'm gonna show you what they said. James had stated that his maternal grandfather was highly Asian. His maternal grandmother was almost full-blooded American Indian, all right? A, most likely. It is not clear if these claims are Native American. Okay, well, they don't know. Because, these are black folks, so of course they're going to be like, well, we don't know because he's so-called black, he's African splurge, and dodge the hijack, right? That's why they like, we don't know if that's real. We don't know if that's real. Yeah, you don't want to know if that's real. So this is his mom, Susie Bellin. All right, here's a picture of her. Let's go to the picture. All right, not the best picture, but that's her. 1920 census. She's 4 years old. Bamberg, South Carolina. She's living in 1920. The daughter of Moni, the guy who's highly Asian, supposedly, right? And Rebecca, who's almost full-blooded Indian. That's what James was saying, right? (1930), 13, still in Bamberg. All right. 1940, 22. Now she's married. Okay. South Carolina, county marriage. Joseph Brown, the husband. These are the parents of James Brown. This is their marriage index record. We got South Carolina death records here. So here's James, right? Death record. We got some obituaries and other things like that. And so we move on to her parents. These are her siblings. A lot of big families, right? Like in these times, people are having a lot of kids, guys. Like that's very common. In the States and the South, even in my country, like my grandma, both my sides had 15 kids. Both my grandparents had 15 kids on both sides. So I had 15, 14. I had 14 uncles and aunts on one side, and then 14 uncles and aunts on the other side, my mom and dad. So big families back then. You needed people to work your farm. Why would you hire somebody when you can have kids and you can keep it in the family? Everybody could just work, right? You need to work, and also, That's what they did, you know. They multiplied. That's what they told Joshua to do, multiply. So Monroe Bellin, South Carolina. All right, not Asia, South Carolina. Monroe Bellin. Here he is 11, or Money Mayweather. No, so Money. And let's see why they wrote money. Sometimes they can't really read the writing. It's cursive, like I said earlier. Yeah, it says money. So you say, if the census said, what's his name? Money. They don't know how to spell. They put whatever money. Did he say money? Okay, I think he said money. So again, the names may be off a little bit on the census. The years of birth may be a little off. But guys, that's just because a lot of the time they're not really, people are rounding numbers off. They're not asking the people. They're asking the neighbors, or just a lot of different situations going on. But if the names match, the kids are there, the place is there, like that's them. Just gotta, again, look into everything very specifically, very detailed. You gotta take your time with it. Here, money is being listed as mulatto. Let me go into this one. So I forgot to look what he was being called in the last one, just so that's so you guys can see how they be changing stuff. It actually says B. It doesn't say M. It says B. They messed up. It says so-called black, but again, a lot of black folks being called mulatto throughout all these census, right? Many cases of that. You guys know that. Here he's so-called black. All right. Monty Billings, Rebecca Bryan, and the death certificate of one of their kids. Another one. There goes Monroe. His death certificate. Okay. And here you list. So this is a really good source. Monroe Bellin, being listed as colored. And Bamberg, Moni Bellin, the dad, Rebecca. Then you can see who's the informant. And it says Maury Belling. So it's a family relative. And we got Graves. So, and then we got the family trees. I always leave the family trees for last because a lot of the time, some of the family trees, people are just adding things manually, not adding it with sources, and you might carry over some bad info. But in general, almost everybody, you see, as you guys can see, had Stephen and Sarah as the parents. There's so many different families, you know. So I just went with it because let me just show you what I'm saying. So we go into their trees. We got the same census. And again, when he was 11, Stephen Bellin and Sarah. So I mean, we know that for sure. That is his parents. So this is not a guess. All right. So we move up on the Bellin. And we go to Stephen, his dad. We're in Colleton County, South Carolina. We got an 1880 census where he's 23. And he's married with Sarah. She's 18. Seems they don't have kids yet. Let me see, we got 28. Annie. This is actually for one of the daughters, so this shouldn't be here. See, that's why there's two 1880 ones. Not sure why I added that. You can add that to the daughter. You should actually add that to the actual daughters and the kids, on their records. 1900, Stephen, 30, and this is where money is 11. Okay. Death certificate, and here we have pretty good one, right? Because that's his death certificate and it's listing his parents. And as you guys can see, very hard to read the first name, Charlotte, but we do know based on the other records what the name is, right? Which is Moses Bellin. That's the name of the dad. Okay, it put more, but it's Moses. As you guys saw, it was very hard to read that. That's why they just put more when they digitized it. So here's a hint, and it's just a family tree. So I haven't, this is probably came out later on. So you can add this. Information is correct. This is a whole other family tree that's related to James. And we review, we make sure things match, and we carry over any of the good info. Yep, that's the dad, Moses. So about 1808. So let me see, what year was Moses born? Oh, Stephen was born 1859. And I think one of the census had about, that's the thing. So a lot of the, as I was saying earlier, some census would have about, and then another one would have about 1808. I'll let them be off because a lot of times census takers are just putting numbers or guessing and things like that. So you gotta kind of go and try to see what makes more sense a lot of the time. The mom's listed as 1830. Those match. We had that one right. So on his dad, let's see, Sarah is a spouse. Lala. We got so he has a brother named Moses as well. So that's a junior. We got Martin. That matches. Annie. We got all these kids already. Simon. MJ. William. James. And David. And we save to our tree. All right. And then, so we go up Moses. And that's as far as I got with Moses. I do have two hints, right? Which is this one. I think, yeah, this was one of his wives that one of the families had. And now we have somebody, one of the families did have Teeny, but they had no sources for it. Maybe they already had it in their history, so they knew. But here's an actual source of a Moses Bellin. The only thing is, even though they're saying he's living in Collington, now they're saying he's Virginia, but everything else was saying he was from South Carolina. So not sure why this one says Virginia. And this is the only one that says Virginia. All right. But for them to change it, if they're in South Carolina and actually put, sometimes I actually go with that more because why would they change that? They must have heard something. They must have known something, But I still left it as South because all the family members had South Carolina. And again, when we go to the other sources, like 1870 census, birthplace South Carolina, that's what it says. 1880, birthplace South Carolina. All right. So we got Moses Bellin. Now, if I hit search, sometimes you get lucky again. But again, we're at that threshold. We're in the 1830s, right? And we got Belling here. Let's see. So you can look specific. You can filter these searches and just look for census, things like that. I like to do that. Now, bowling or Balin sounds pretty familiar. I actually look at this. That's why it's highlighted. So Balin, this might be him right here. Barnwell. Look at that. So this is a pretty good educated guess, and I'm almost confident that this is probably him. Right, by 1870, if he was born around 1830, yeah, he would be what, in his about 50s, 40s. And I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. I mean, I ain't going nowhere farther, but I think this is him. It's in Barnwell. Well, actually, I think this is why I didn't add it. One of the census says that in 1870 he was living in Colleton. This is saying that this guy is living in Barnwell, but it could be, both could be right. We know that they were in Barnwell, his whole family. I'll save it just in case. You can also put it in your shoebox. You don't have to attach it. You can save things on your shoebox or hit ignore and just come back to it later. You'll see undecided. It'll be undecided or be ignored. Undecided, I think if you hit maybe, when you find a record, it'll go on under undecided. All right, and then again, the wife Charlotte Williams, right? That's what we got going into her census. And we don't got anything past before they got married when they were children, so we don't know. But doesn't mean they were slaves and they got baptized. These things, no, that's not what it means. It just means they're holding it back. They holding the algorithms back, especially most likely for James Brown. They like already set that up. They programmed it already, and I've been waiting months for this to regenerate and hopefully beat the algorithms and hopefully hints pop out, but unfortunately hints haven't popped out. All right, now let's go back, guys. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So many rumors, so many assumptions, and okay, so they said supposedly that James said, right? Supposedly. I don't know. I've never seen a video where he's getting interviewed and said that his grandfather, maternal grandfather, was highly Asian. But as you guys saw, where's what Asian? What Asian, guys? Now the whole football America, now that's more realistic. That's more realistic. All right. Now we go to Belling, right? So I was like, is Belling? And I still gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe it goes back to Asians that came here, but Asians were coming in more in California, not on this side, guys, not on the East Coast. When we hit Belling and we hit search, that's German. That's German. And that goes back to what we were looking at earlier with the coat of arms. A lot of those are German families. A surname Belling was first found in Sitten, Mecklenburg, where the family played an important role in the development of emerging nation and would later play a large role in the tribal and national conflicts of the area. Tribal. We're talking about in Germany. Tribal and national conflicts of the area. Tribal. Other variations. Belling. This ain't Asian. So I don't know if that's what they were going off just because the link. I don't know why would anybody say he's Asian. I don't get that, guys. So that's why I was saying be careful with what you read online. Don't just go with what you're reading. I think a lot of time it was just sensationalism. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose. If he did say that's what the website is saying he said. Did he really say that? I think he did say he was Apache though. And he was kind of making that up a little bit, guys. So I mean, that's what I see here. And maybe he thought all Indians were Apache and Cherokee. I don't know. Yeah, but he knew he was Indian. He knew he was Indian. All right, going back down. Okay, so Williams. She's a Williams. Just so we can. Williams surname, German, Welsh, Irish. The Welsh name Williams is a patronymic surname derived from the personal name William, which is in turn derived from Old German name Willingham. Willem, a Norman French version of Guillaume, Norman conquest. Most likely might be even Norman people that brought the name. But then you break down this family crest and you start seeing, you start kind of like, okay, lion, huh? And so Stephen Belling's wife, we didn't have her maiden name, and we kind of got stuck there. So that was Monroe's mom. We didn't have her maiden name, so we're kind of at the mercy of hints hopefully popping out here, or maybe one day the family actually fills it in. The family might have a Bible, that listen with the people going back to. All right. Going back down to Monroe, his wife was Rebecca Bryant. All right. This is her siblings. And we did get this here, where we got, let me see, right here. James' maternal grandmother was Rebecca Bryant, the daughter of Perry Bryant and Susan Carter. Rebecca was born in South Carolina. So again, Rebecca, Perry, and Susan, right? It matches Susan Carter. That's what I found. I was able to verify that. 1900 census, She's 11 years old, confirming. Perry and Susan. All right? Yes, those are her parents. Bamberg, South Carolina. That's where they're living. 1910, 18, and by 18, she's married. They used to get married young back then. We got death certificates. Here she's listed as the mom. We got that earlier. For Stephen and the dad, Moni, and so on. Moving up to her dad, Perry Bryant. We got an 1880 census again, where he's 18. It says labor. He might be living under somebody working. Let's see. Let me look at the census. And let's see what we got here. So we got laborer. This is an occupational census where it lists the occupation of the person. Sometimes they just, even like if it's a housewife, they just put, domestic or home care, home, and they always got to fill it in. They put something: farmer, laborer, boarder, whatever. But here's here's Perry at 18. Celia. Does this say 11 or 1? Not sure if that's a sister because it has the same last name. Going back. 1900. So that's 20 years later, right? That's a big lead. 1880. Oh, 18, yeah. That's all right. Yeah. 20 years later, yeah, he'll be around 40. And now he's with Susan. And they got kids, right? North Carolina U.S. Census, listed as the dad for Stella. I'm sorry, death certificate. And then, again, Stella. Tommy, dad for Tommy, listed there. And then list of men ordered to report to local board of military. So you got military records as well. Camp Jackson in Collington, South Carolina. Social Security records, and so on. And that's as far as I was able to get on the Bryant side. Again, that's why I said this is going to be a quick video, guys. It's not too much. I was waiting. I was trying to hold this and see if we found anything. Now, this family, most likely related, they have Charles Bryant and Patty Carter. And if that's so, that means that he might have married a cousin because his wife is a Carter and his mom is a Carter. That's what they're saying, which is very common, guys. Don't think, ooh, this is very common back then. People marrying their cousins. So when we go to the person's profile who had that, they have an 1880 census with, it says Jerry, but that might be Perry, and that's probably why I didn't find it. So should I add this automatically and say, yeah, these are the parents? Now let me look at the census. Does it say Jerry or does it say Perry? I mean, that looks like a J to me, guys. Do you think that could be a P? So this is why I didn't add it. And the difference when I'm doing genealogy with the family, most of the time they can confirm. Hey, I can say, hey, you ever heard of Charles and Patty? Yeah, I think I've heard of a Charles and Patty, like, my mom, my great grandma. But this is usually pretty far back, and they don't know, they can't verify. That's why I didn't add this. So if you go up his line to Charles, then he has Edward as his dad. And let me see, Charles at 60. Yeah, I don't see no Edward here. This is what I mean. So he has no sources for his dad. So that's why I don't add things, because if it's not, even though I'll leave this hint here, it could be right. To me, that says Jerry. It says a J. Did the census taker hear wrong? Harry and Jerry, maybe not. Maybe he added, maybe he just wanted to add it. Maybe he thought that was it. I don't know. If I had the family here to confirm, I might have known. But he has, that's the only record he has. So we left it at that. And when we go to Bryant, we got English, French, Irish alternate. The surname Bryant was first found in Essex, where the Domesday Book of 1086 records the Latin form of the name Radulfus Filius Brian. At that time, the same source also knows Briandus de Scal in Cambridgeshire. The Baron Brain was recorded in 1088 in Bury St. Edmunds, the Chronicles of Mayors and Sheriffs in London. All right. Now going to his wife, Susan Carter. I think I do have her parents. Yeah. Went to Susan Carter. 1880, she's 20. And father's name, Isaac. Mother's name, Hannah Carter. Right, so we're able to verify Barnwell Fish Pond, same place. This is why I know this. I'm pretty sure that's her parents. All right, Susan here, daughter of Isaac and Hannah. Same location. Then you got other census here. Let me see. We got Harry here. Harry and Tommy. Okay, so we know for sure that's her parents. We go up to Isaac. We got an 1880 census, which is the same one we just saw. And that's about it. You know, we got some other family member trees here. And they didn't have the parents, you see? Oh, actually, somebody put Isaac Carter, so he would be a junior, and Lydia Branch. So I didn't add that. Maybe there's a reason. Go into that person's profile or tree. And they don't have no sources, guys. And when I see this Genie community as the source, I'm very careful with this Genie communities trees index. So that's all manual, guys. Let me show you. When you go into their website, Genie, there's no sources there, guys. This is all manual entry. There's no real sources here. It's just manual entries. Could this be correct? Maybe. Could it be wrong? Maybe. Family tree owner, Daniel Price. I would have to contact him. And on Genie, I don't really have, people don't respond. You know, I contact people on Ancestry and they respond. Here, I would ask him, how do you know that's his parents? He might say, well, because we have the family Bible, because we know, my grandma told me, you know, like, or a lot of times like, well, I don't know. I found a record. I think those, I think those are parents. So they tell me the truth. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, no, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So that's kind of why I didn't add the parents, but that could be it, right? That could be it. Now going into there, let me just see something. If I go into this Isaac, which is 1700s, Barnwell, right? There's an 1840 census. Listen, Isaac as free white. Don't think free white means pale skin. All right, don't think it just means pale skin. Remember, in the Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, free white includes Moors and all European Jews, which is Sephardic Jews and all that, and Iberians and Celts and a lot of different things, right? And it even tells you not Caucasian, not the Caucasian races, right? But as you guys can see, you know, and then we got some, you know, images for his mom. That's a drawing. That's a painting. That's not a real picture, guys. We're in the 1700s. But I didn't add this stuff, and that's the reason I want to show you why I didn't add the parents, and I left it at that. We do have a hint here, and see, and it's just another family. Okay, so they have, let me show you guys. So this is different people that have also Isaac and Lydia. And again, look, let me show you. So Isaac, 1858. Hold on, who are they saying? So Isaac was born in 1814. Junior, right? They're saying the one is junior, the one that we have. They're saying is the son of this Isaac. This guy is saying, right? Let me show you. Remember, this is James Brown's family, right? but he doesn't. He's not showing us where he got that from. When you go into this census, it's just showing an Isaac Carter who was 42, and he was a captain in the Third Seminole War. Doesn't mean he was a Seminole. That means he was warring against the Seminole. Fort Brooke Mulder, Carter's Company, Florida Mounted Volunteers. But I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. It could be he's a Seminole, but it looks more like he's on the other side here, based how I interpret this. All right. But is this the same Isaac we're talking about? Because this guy's in Florida, you know, and where he get the parents from? I don't see no records for the parents, and that's what I'm saying. You start going up that tree, and you start, you know, and you know what? It could be right, guys. It might be right, and don't assume these are pale skin. It could be black folks too. But again, I'd be guessing, and I'd be trying to trust other people who have no records. So that's why I left it alone. Right? It's still there as a hint. I just left that there. All right, we go to Carter. Surname, English, Irish, Scottish. The ancestry of the name Carter can be traced back to the Anglo-Saxon tribes. Saxon, sons of Isaac. Saxon. Okay. Indigenous people are brown. Who are you talking to, Ebony? Duh. She said, duh. And Hannah, and that was as far as Hannah. We don't know her maiden name. And let me see. Did I miss anybody? We got Rebecca. And that's it, guys. That's all I got for James Brown's genealogy. Again, we got, you know, all those names. And again, did you see any Apache or Asian people? Right? Apaches are somewhere else. So just recently, I showed you guys a clip of somebody with SA Nader, and they were saying, you know, James Brown, you know, he's Apache, he's Apache Indian, and I was like, that's not true. It doesn't go from the west to the east, guys. Most of the relocations and most of the migrations went from east to west. So, yeah. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Native American. Native, anybody living in America or born in America is Native American. Doesn't mean they're indigenous. That word, that phrase is not. Let me see. What is this? A. Hill saying, how can I trust the process when 2 years ago he was painting Indians brown? What do you mean I was painting Indians brown, man? Like, you're ignorant, man. Cornball Abo. Oh, no. That might actually be a so-called Native American. He's mad, right? He's mad, guys. Let me show you. This is what he's saying. I'm painting, right? We're gonna do it right in front of him. Don't go anywhere, A Hill. And A Hill, actually, he's gonna get hidden. He don't get to talk on my channel anymore. No punk at losers allowed. No hijacks allowed here, man. Sparta! You get kicked in the hole, man. Kicked in the face down the hole, man. You're not welcome here, man. How can we trust somebody who's painting people brown? What the hell are you talking about, man? Ignorant people, man. Ignorant people, man. Ignorant. Ignorant people. Ignorant people. And we don't worry about them too much. Don't worry. Yeah, I know, guys. I know you say, don't worry. Don't pay attention to them, Kurimeo. Don't pay attention. Guys, this is an everyday thing. It's like it gets sick, it gets annoying, it gets tiring. It's every day. Look at that. She came back. Look at this guy, A Hill, and she came back with another account. This is childish behavior. You guys see how Alicia got problems, right? She put the same thumbnail and everything. Put the same. No, don't even time these people hide them from my channel. Are you gonna create another account, Alicia? That's so childish. Are you 12 years old? So childish. I'm gonna stay on. Don't go nowhere. You don't get to talk, but stay right there. I'm gonna show you something. Ignorant people, man. Ignorant people, man. One second, guys. Don't be such a fool, Alicia. Don't be such a fool. Learn some respect and learn how to be an adult. Stop being childish. All right. Now these are all in black and white. All right. These are in black and white. Right. Hold on. Let me just make this bigger. Okay. These are in black and white. Right. Black and white. Oh, that one's in color. These are in black and white. Right. It says Sang Oku's woman of the Moapiriets tribe of Indians inhabiting the valley of Moapar River. All right, this is a good one. We're gonna bring this image right here, right? Right here. I'm gonna show you guys. We're gonna colorize this. This is what I use to colorize the photos, guys. Anybody can do this and test with any black and white picture. Any white and black picture. It works. Oh, come on. This website's been giving me troubles lately. It like takes long loading. There we go. We're gonna we're gonna drag. See me dragging it? I'm gonna grab it. You guys see it? I got it right here. I'm gonna drag it, drop it in the website. All right. It's gonna work its magic. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna say something real right now. Dane Calloway says the same thing. Dane says I was painting the pictures. I was photoshopping the pictures. He said that on Top Cat's channel once to me. And I got in a little argument with him with that. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? And he was just babbling. Running off of Sister Betty, his #1 fan. Come on, website. Yeah, this website's been slow. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, they've been hating on this website lately. I don't know. It's been like that. Sometimes they don't even open for me anymore. Just takes forever. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. You guys got this website. If you want, grab any black and white picture and put it in there. Yeah, see, it won't load. None of the pages are loading on this website. It's all right. We don't need to prove anything, Alicia. We got photos for days. Let me just show you guys what she's mad at. Let me just show you what she's mad at. He, whatever it is. It. Because to me, these ain't people. These are like demons, man. These are like demons, you know? This is what the results are giving me. I ain't painting nobody brown. This is what I get when it colorizes them. Oh, look at that. Nobody's painting anybody brown. These are brown colored people. Brown, yeah. Oh, Kurimeo, you painting everybody brown. You know, And a lot of time a lot of these pictures I don't even have on my videos. Look at this. I didn't paint these people brown. That's what they look like. Look at this, bro, right? Look at them. All right. So if you got a complaint to you go complain to the website. They're painting people brown. But you can try it with any photo. You'll see it works. Any photo that you know is a so-called black person, put the black and white image there, and you see it works. There we go. See, I'm not painting anybody brown. That's what they were. They were brown or copper colored. And I know a lot of these are some of the ones in the West. That doesn't mean I'm saying these are the Indians only, but I'm just showing you that even the ones people are calling, they were darker before. They were a lot darker before. The ones people are trying to call Mongols, right? I didn't paint none of these people brown. That's what they were. That's what they were. Here this says, let me see it. Croatan. a lot of a lot of pale skinned people there in the Crotons. She said I'm painting everybody brown. I don't own this website. I don't own this website. That's what these people were. And the ones from today, they're a lot lighter. They're a lot lighter. All right. I didn't paint nobody brown. So that's your own hijack. All right, that's enough. I got a whole series on this, guys. Go look at I put some of the best images on the videos. If you missed those videos, go check out my colorized Indian picture videos. And they're very mixed and not just one type of Indian. I kind of mix them up, you know. I show Eastern, Southeastern, Western, Southwestern, Northeastern, right? I show different kinds of American Indians on that series. Let me just read the chat a little bit. I see a lot of people, a lot of people giving opinions. I heard Paul George. Patron. Edwin, you're not Taino. Those people renamed that were bred out. What you mean, man? What you mean by that, patron? What you mean bred out? That sounds like a generalized hijack, man. Uh, Sharon, yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. I hope after today it's clear that maybe calling him an Apache is not correct. Right? We got to dig deeper based on these surnames. You guys might know more than me what these surnames what Indian tribes they might be related to in South Carolina or on the East Coast, you know, previous to 1830. So you got leads now. You got leads. But I don't think, based on what I know about history, based on what I know about the relocations, migration patterns, and stuff, that he's an Apache. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed today's genealogical stories episode 14. James Brown, not too much, not too much. You know, if you were expecting, you know, something else, hey, if it was boring to you, hey, I just wanted to make a point and show you he's not Apache. I don't think he's Apache, and I don't think you can prove he's Apache. All right, but he might have Apache hair here, Apache beard here, Apache. No, sir. That was, shout out to Anu. He told me they used to make jokes like that. I'm an Apache Indian, meaning they had a patch of hair here, a patch of hair here. No, sir. That's kind of offensive, right? But they use it as a joke, a lot of people. And yeah. So James Brown, the Godfather of Soul music. Hey, be more. I got so many haters, and you see what they do? They create fake accounts just to come troll, and these people are never here. Like, where was she yesterday, right? Where was she yesterday when I was reading about the Israelites? Where was she? Where was she complaining about that? They never hear. Who are you? You're nobody. All right. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'm working a lot of trees always. I'm trying to dig, work. I got some interesting people we're gonna look at. I do already have Kyrie Irving's tree kind of done. I'm still kind of working on it, see what else I can find. All right. And you guys will be surprised what I found on his mom's side. I mean, you guys already know his mom was a Sioux, a Dakota. But if you don't know, yeah, just Google it. I mean, he got invited and inducted. He got a whole ceremony, him and his sister. But unfortunately, our good brother Irie still thinks he's African, and that he came on slave ships. And that's why he shared that video, Hebrews to Negroes, and that video is kind of pseudo a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah, I said it. It's very Pan-Africanized. It's made by Pan-Africans. Yeah, that's it. That's the fact. Very biased and very misinforming. And yesterday we read, right, what they were writing about the American Indians, right? So when you're talking about you're only Hebrew because you came as a slave, that's totally false. That's pseudo, and it's not just Judah. There's 12 tribes. Hey, Will. See, you're doing it again. Will, you're the same one earlier that said, Apache, some Apaches came. Man, you can't prove it. Debunk me, man. He's not Apache, man. They don't travel that way, man. Apache's not in South Carolina. You don't know anything about indigenous tribes and where they were living, man. Mr. Will Anderson. I know you've probably been running with that. Oh, yeah, James Brown Apache. You've probably been running with that this whole time. So take it how you like, man. So, bro, you ain't my bro because you're not listening. And you're not a follower because I don't recognize your name. Who are you, man? Where you been all these 7 years, man? Think logically, Will. Get out your feelings, man. Get out your feelings, Will. No, he's definitely Moorish. I told you these surnames, right? Where they coming from. But he's definitely Indian too. So Gandhi is Lumbee. That's right. But there's something about the Lumbees, guys, and Croatons. They're very mixed. The Lumbees are very mixed, guys. All right? Look it up. Do the digging, get more specific. Yeah. And we got Olmec in the house. We got Olmec in the house. Brother Olmecs. And all we do is we just continue to put that work. This is like clockwork, right? Clockwork. Shout out to Olmec for the instrumental called Clockwork. That's what we're gonna go out with. Much love and respect. Pura vida, mi gente. Wow. Tin, 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 tin. Yeah. Hey, Nitya said, I thought you were gonna say something, Kurimeo. Well, I kind of did throughout the whole video. I'm trying to make a point here, like, and Will's my point. Will's that's what I'm trying to point out, guys. Like, Will won't let it go. He's still talking random stuff. You're off topic, bro. You're talking about some Apaches went south. Okay, so what? What does that have to do with James Brown, man? I was in rooms with you. So what, man? So what, man? What does that do? You don't know me, man. Doesn't matter, and I don't know you, man. Just because I was in a room with you, man. All right, man. Go sleep on it, man. Yeah, hey Peter, man, I saw you in the Crystal Palace video. I saw you over there in the live. Duh, people moved around. Will, you babbling, man. Nobody said folks didn't move around, but you don't know the migration patterns and the relocations. You're not understanding what you're saying, man. Do some better research, man. Stop talking to me, bro. I'm timing you out. Hey, RC, you must have came really late. He was born in South Carolina, not Georgia. He moved to Georgia. He's from South Carolina. You must have ignored the whole presentation if you were here. Because I think you said that in the beginning. What is your intent, man? Get to know me. You're 7 years late. What do you mean, what does this prove? I'm showing his family tree. It's not about proving it. I'm showing you his ancestors. What's your point, man? You coming here to troll? You want to get embarrassed too, man? What's up? I don't got time for y'all, man. I'm out of here, man. I'm about to start making these live chats, members only live chats, right? I can't. Sometimes I don't got the patience to deal with people who come in with their subliminal questions and stuff. What's your intent, man? Coming at the end of after 7 years and at the end of this video, what's your point, man? You want to ask me a question? reach out to me like everybody else does. Reach out to me. There's, I'm not a fool, man. Your question and people's question is not a real question. Trying to debate me, man. Yeah, do you, Buster? Buster. A lot of y'all take this very personal, man, and y'all don't really know me. You never reached out to me. You don't talk to me. You don't communicate with me. You don't get to, you don't know me. You come here. You think I'm some random YouTuber that's just gonna let people come here and talk their shit. That doesn't work. It doesn't work like that here on this channel, man. So come correct. You're the one coming with the nonsense talking about what's your intent, what does this prove? Now that's nonsense. And I'm 42, man. Even if you're older, I'm not a child either, man. I'm an adult, man. Act like one, man. Don't come over here interrupting, disrespecting what I do, man. And if you're older, yeah, like Almost said, you're acting childish, man. Don't come over here. What does this prove? What you mean, man? It's a genealogical video showing a family tree. Yeah. They can catch the fire anytime. Slay the hijacks. Wow.